An irrational number is a real number which cannot be written in the form p by q, where q is not equal to 0. When irrational numbers are expressed in the decimal form, they become non-terminating and non-repeating decimals. So, every non-terminating and non-repeating decimal is an irrational number. If p is a positive integer which is not a perfect square, then p square is irrational. Thus, square root of 2, 3, 5, 6, etc. are all irrational numbers. If p is a positive integer which is not a perfect cube, then p cube is irrational. Thus, cube root of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. are all irrational numbers. Pi is an irrational number. If z is a prime number and m a positive integer and z divides m to the power 2, then z divides m. Let z be a prime number and m be a positive integer. Here, z divides m squared. Every positive integer can be expressed as the product of primes. Let m is equal to the product of z1, z2, z3 and so on up to zn, where z1, z2, z3 and so on up to zn are unique primes according to the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now m squared is equal to the product of z1, z2, z3 and so on up to zn multiplied to itself. So, m squared is equal to the product of z1 squared, z2 squared, z3 squared, and so on up to zn squared. Now, z divides m squared. This means z is a prime factor of m squared. Now, since prime factors of m squared are z1, z2, z3 and so on up to zn, so z is one of the prime factors in the product of z1, z2, z3 and so on up to zn. Therefore, z divides m. Tap the buttons to understand this better with more examples. Fill in the blanks with the correct values. 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 Let's summarize what we have learnt in this topic.